know you are just a hoop fan in general. Just what did you remember about watching Lady Vols versus UConn growing up, and what does it mean to you to be playing in this matchup now this year?
Yeah, I think it means a lot. You know, there's a lot of history in that matchup. I was aware of that matchup just with, like, you know, iconic, legendary players like Tamika Catchings, you know, Maya Moore, Diana Taurasi, Tamika Holslaw. So, like, it's, like, a lot of history in it, and I think it's just a lot of pride that we take, you know, knowing the historic matchup that it is.
What do you think attributed to the slow start against Missouri? What do you guys need to do to make sure that doesn't happen against UConn?
Yeah, we know going on the road or any matchup in the SEC is going to be a hard matchup, and so it's just credit to Missouri starting out strong. But we know we have to put 4 quarters together, and we have to start out stronger than what we did. But I was proud of how we bounced back, and it just shows how resilient this team is.
How fun is it to watch Talasia in a matchup like that? What it feels like she just can't miss?
Yeah, it's really fun. I'm kind of used to it, just seeing it in practices and then game to game. She's a great player, and when she gets to her spot, she's really dangerous.
You guys did a great job in the top of the press, obviously having all those turnovers. But what do you think contributed to not capitalizing on that?
Yeah, that's what we talked about. We forced a lot of turnovers, but we need to start scoring more off of those turnovers. So I think it's just more so like knowing our awareness, like spacing awareness, whether we need to kick out for a 3 or just finish around the rim. We talked about how we didn't finish as well last game as well, so I thought we needed to do a better job with that.
Going back to Talasia last year when she had to sit out, you guys were still practicing with her, alongside of her. Was there anything that kind of gave you a glimpse then of how good and how productive that she's been this year?
Yeah, I definitely got a glimpse of it because just how competitive she is. She's a great player. She pushed us last year, and, you know, we were sad that she couldn't, you know, help us last year on the court-wise, but we knew coming into this year she was going to have a chip on her shoulder.
I heard that while the practice guys were out, that you guys practiced against the coaches. Gabe was talking about that earlier today. How did that go going up against the coaches? Did they get your number or vice versa?
Yeah, it was competitive. We had to, you know, take pride in that, not letting our coaches beat us because they're, you know, a little bit older than us and we should have fresher legs. But it was a cool experience too, you know, with our practice guys gone and having to go up against our coaches and seeing them, like, Coach Gabe still got a little game, Coach Romy and Coach Lex in them, so it was cool to see.
Have you sensed that coach is taking this maybe a little different since it's Gino and UConn, or has she been the same Kim Caldwell?
I think, you know, we haven't talked too much about it just since we had the off day, a mandatory off day yesterday, and we'll watch film today and stuff like that. So I think we'll get that speech from her today and know a little bit more about that. But I feel like any basketball fan or any basketball, you know, player knows how much this game means to us from a pride standpoint. So just, you know, going out there and competing.
Coach Kim talks a lot about shot selection. Just what do you feel like the team as a whole has done to take a step in the right direction and getting the right looks on the court?
Yeah, I think we've done a better job just knowing, like, when is the right 3 to take or when is the right shot to take for each individual player. So I think that's looked better as long as with our movement and player movement and ball movement. And then, like I said, just finishing around the rim and finishing high percentage shots.
Jill, how important was it to finish off a game? You guys have talked about playing 4-quarter games all season long. To have a lead, to hold the lead, to finish it off. How important do you think that was for you guys understanding how to win close games?
Yeah, it was important, and Coach talked about that after the game. You know, we were losing a lot of, you know, close games by 1 or 2 possessions. So, you know, we had experience on the wrong side of that, but we learned from it. So going into Missouri and being in that, you know, tough environment and being in, you know, that 1 possession game, just knowing, like, to be poised and composed because we've been here before.
What makes Paige so tough to stop?
She's just a bucket. Like, I know her personally, and she's just a great person, but also a great player. She knows how to get to her spots, and she's very efficient as well.
I know you guys will prepare the same way for every game, right? But as a competitor, is this the kind of game that kind of gets your competitive juices going a little bit more, knowing you're going to play against players like Paige Beckers?
Yeah. I think it does. You know, we have to, you know, treat our preparation the same, but like you said, you know, it's a historic matchup, and it does. And I think, you know, our fans are going to come out and show us that support as well, so we're ready for that. But, you know, just keeping the main thing, and then going out there and having fun.
You said Paige is a bucket. How do you even try to limit the shots that she makes and the shots that she gets?
Contest everything, make everything tough, play team defense, and know that it's not just, you know, one player guarding her. We all have to guard her as a team.
Hit a lot of big shots down the stretch this year. Has that kind of always been the play you've been? What do you think's attributed to that?
Yeah, I think just doing what my team needs me to do. and being prepared at every moment, or whatever that is. You know, being a leader, whether it's me getting a shot or somebody else getting a shot, and making sure that I have confidence in taking those shots.
Is there a game or a story from this rivalry that stands out most to you?
Not necessarily for me personally. I think, like I said, it's just, you know, knowing the history, you know, with Pat Summitt and Coach Gina Ariema, and how much, you know, the fans pour into this matchup, but also like the players before me that played here, and how much pride they take in the matchup, and, you know, playing for their school, and how much pride they take in playing in those games.
You guys had a pretty front-loaded SEC schedule, but the 5-game stretch here in particular is pretty brutal with 4 top 10 opponents. Kind of feels like a stretch where you learn what you're made of as a team. Just
Right.
what have you kind of seen from your teammates their stretch, and what are you hoping to see the next couple games?
Yeah, I think, you know, earlier in the year we talked about having like different measuring stick games, and I think this stretch will be the same as well, and seeing how much we've grown from those, you know, tough losses that we had earlier in the season. And I think we have grown, so just showing that, and, you know, being poised and learning from the mistakes that we made earlier in the season.
All right. Thank you, Jewel.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joel.